The trial of suspended Kogi Central Senator Natasha Akpoti-Oduaghan, accused of cybercrime charges, has been adjourned to October 20 due to an objection raised by a defense team. The objection challenges the court's jurisdiction to hear the case, citing alleged abuse of prosecutorial powers by the Attorney General of the Federation. Akpoti-Oduaghan faces 6 counts of cyber crime charges, including transmitting false information with intent to malign, incite, and endanger lives. The defense team argues that the court lacks jurisdiction while the prosecution maintains readiness to proceed with the trial. Over 350 Nigerian women's rights organizations have actually petitioned the United Nations, accusing the Senate of systemic gender-based discrimination and retaliation against Akpoti-Oduaghan after she accused Senate President Godswill Akpabio of sexual harassment. The senator was arraigned on June 30 and granted bail. Her suspension from the Senate has sparked controversy, with critics condemning it as a calculated reprisal. A federal high court in Abuja ruled the suspension unconstitutional and overreaching, but the Senate has yet to reinstate her into the House. So, if the same Senate that we're talking about now are the same people that are coming out to pass a bill to bring more women into the red chambers and also the reps, then we have to actually look at this particular one very well. We're now being joined by Barrister Ade Mokoya, Barrister Lai Ade Mokoya, a public affairs and political analyst. Barrister, good afternoon to you.
Silvio, it's Lagos today.
Barrister, Lagos is actually a pool now. So if you don't have your canoe, you have to learn how to swim. I'm talking about the island, to be precise, Lekki axis. Okay, but it's been a rainy day. Okay, but we're fine. Here we are. We don't have a choice. We need to walk. So you're welcome on board, Barrister.
All right, thank you.
Okay, and also joining us, we have Engineer Nwahule, the Deputy National Secretary of the Labour Party. Engineer, good afternoon to you today.
Good afternoon, Saviour. How are you doing?
Very well, sir. You're welcome on board.
Thank you, viewers.
Okay, so, Engineer, I would like to start with you. Being that you are a party man, you understand the political structure of most parties, okay, if I'm permitted to use that particular word, in a situation where a senator who was voted by our people, okay, to be a voice for them, okay, and to represent them in the National Assembly has been bullied to this particular point. What would you make out of this particular situation? And presently, we have our people, all our followers and everyone protesting in Abuja as we speak. What would you make out of this particular one, sir?
What I'll make out of it is simple, very clear. Back here in Labour Party, there is a hidden slogan we say, solidarity make us strong, which we borrowed from the Nigerian Labour Congress. I expected the PDP to rise to the occasion and stand with Natasha. The issue of a senator disagreeing with the Senate president is not new to our legislature. Even the current Senate president had disagreement at the floor of the Senate with the former Senate President, Bukola Saraki.
Yeah, Bukola Saraki, yes. I'm privy to that particular one.
Of course, he had exchange of words, he had quarrel, he had disagreement, it was very fierce. But we didn't hear this version of suspension and bullying that is going on now. Of course, and that's still not the first time. We are hearing senators fighting among themselves. We have had it severally. And we also know that things that happen inside the floor of the Senate, I think they have a kind of immunity that protects them. Of course, I can call it, this is purely, will I call it witch hunting or is unfair? It's unfair. I expected PDP to rise to the occasion. I expected PDP senators to stand by her. This is unfair. We are talking about democracy. The people should be represented. It's not about Senator Natasha. It's about the Kogi Central. Have you imagined what they have lost all this time? Nobody speaks for them.
Sincerely.
Think of it. What they have lost, nobody to intercede, to intervene for them, nobody to speak on their behalf. So where is the democracy? That is injustice. You see, when we turn our back on all this evil, we turn around to say that system is not working well when it does not favor us. We have to come together and stand by her. Even the trial, let me tell you, the trial is neither here nor there. I'll tell you the reason why. The Constitution of Nigeria assumes that accused is innocent. So whatever allegation or whatever, it is not enough to stop her from resuming. She has not been found guilty. But that is the truth. And even if when you say I found her guilty, what matters is until the people of Kogi State say you are no longer going to represent us, because she's not there on her own. She's representing the people. You see, there is this common slogan that people say, the one man terrorist is another man's hero, or things like that. This woman is a hero, the representative of the people of the Kogi State. As long as they're concerned, she's doing their job. As long as they're concerned, she's doing their bidding. You are not in any position to remove her from the Senate for whatever allegation you level against her. It is unfair. It is unconstitutional. It's wrong. The Constitution assumes that accused is innocent until found guilty. But when you talk about removing her from the Senate, it is the people of Kogi that will decide that, not any other person, not the Senate themselves.
Politically, they actually staged a callback. If you remember, we actually saw it. I think 5 months ago. We saw it in Kogi State, where they said our people were to call her back, and they tried recruiting some people to come and sign and make sure that that particular form was filled up as regards to calling back their senator. But it was so glaring that the person who was in charge of that particular mobilization happens to be a loyalist of Yahaya Bello, the former governor. Okay, but that being said, comrade, are you there?
I'm listening. Oh, yeah,
okay, so comrade, that being said, in a situation where the same House of Senate, the presidency, and the House of Reps are actually saying that they are trying to pass a particular bill, or they're trying to see how to include. They're trying to include the women, more women, okay, into the executive, the legislative arm of government, and they're trying to see how they are to include one woman in Senate, one woman in Reps, House of Assembly. They're trying to include women. Yet, this particular one has been singled out for them to use as a scapegoat to every other woman. Don't you think they are indirectly making them lose their self-esteem as regards to that particular gender?
It's not about indirectly, it's direct. All this is all about distracting our attention to the main issue. There is no law in Nigeria forbidding women from being the majority of the House of Representatives or majority of the House of Senate, or being majority of the State House of Assembly. There's no law that forbids them. So when you say you want to increase the number of women, oh my God, you're even insulting the women. All the women that have been in the National Assembly, they won their election. They were not appointed to be there. So you can't say that you are doing them favor by increasing the number. You don't have to increase the number. You're not doing them any favor. You don't have the magnanimity to grant them the favor. No, it's not a favor.
That's what they are saying.
Yeah, hold on, please.
Please go ahead.
You see, in this country, we should be able to know where does our right ends, where does the favor begin. The National Assembly, there's no law that can grant women rights, grant women favor to be in the National Assembly, because no constitution forbids them. In the case of Natasha won her election. Just like you have mentioned, all the effort to recall Natasha failed because her people stood by her. She should be in the Senate and be representing them.
Okay, I think we have a network glitch there.
As an elective office,
okay,
the women reserve the same equal right with men to contest and people to vote for them. You are not doing them any favor. It is no favor. So all this story of increasing the number of women, these things are distracting our attention. Let me tell you, my brother, Natasha is not our problem in this country. You should allow that woman to go back to the National Assembly to represent her people. We have problem of insecurity, we have problem of economy in this country. The workers are not motivated. The people are hungry. We are doing so many things wrong. We're supposed to do right. You are not presenting Natasha to be our national problem. Why should Natasha not be in the Senate be our national problem? The woman should go back to the Senate and represent our people. We have issue of insecurity that's pervading everywhere. And I listened to your news. His Excellency Honorable Wike should stop building houses for judges.
I'm surprised.
Doing them favor.
Sincerely,
It's wrong.
it is wrong because you can now control the judiciary.
Hold on. It is inducement against the judiciary. The three arms of government are supposed to be completely independent of each other. They should have their budget deductible from the source. You shouldn't give them money. The Constitution recognizes the judiciary as well as the executive, as well as the parliamentarians, the National Assembly. They're supposed to get their money from source. Their money should not be dependent on the approval or favor of Mr. President or anybody or the executive arm. It's wrong, it's inducement. Any favor, anything that comes from anybody, the executive or the legislator to the judiciary is inducement. It shouldn't be so, because the moment you start building houses for them, how can they find you guilty? How can they convict you? How can they pass judgment against you? That is inducement. That is the truth. The Constitution recognizes them, therefore they should get their vote. They should get their money from the Federation account.
Okay, comrade.
Without anybody hindering it.
Comrade.
That's how it should be.
Okay, comrade. Before I go to Barrister Lai, I would like us to talk about something. Of course, I love the fact that you said that the Senate or the presidency are not doing any woman any favor to say that they want to include more women in the National Assembly. That is noted. Now, you would agree with me that, of course, the few women we have in government today were also elected in. But as a party man, sir, why is it that before you give 3 to 4 women, before you hand them your ticket, you would have given more than 15 men your ticket to represent that party? Why is that the order of the day in every political party in Nigeria? I stand to be corrected. Please go ahead.
Go and do your inquiry very well. Most times the tickets of women in politics are usually free. Most presidential candidates that are women, their tickets are usually
I'm not talking about the presidential. I'm not talking about the presidential candidate now. No, let's talk about every. Okay, please go ahead.
I'm starting from the top now, coming down. Most of the times in all political parties, the female tickets are usually free. That's number one.
You said most, not all the time. Please go ahead.
I have my reason why I said most is this. I can't say for all the political parties.
That was the reason why I was to also mention to you, when you use the word for me to go and make my research, I am talking based on my research. I'm talking based on at least 4 to 5 different political parties that I am privy to their modus operandi. So that's it.
Let me answer you. Most political parties grant women political forms free. But now what happened is this. How many women are ready to walk up to contest the election? You are not going to force somebody to come and contest the election. That is number one. One thing is getting the form and the ticket, and that is going into the field to do the campaign, to mobilize people to vote for you. It takes courage for women it takes courage to win an election. So this is a matter of women who are ready to go out there to do the work to win an election. We have Senator Ireti at the Senate. She did her campaign. She mustered the courage and she got her ticket. So what you should be saying is that women should indicate their intentions earlier enough, prepare their mind, because you need mental preparation, mental readiness, you need physical readiness, you need financial readiness to be able to win election in Nigeria. It's not a mere wish. So if you are ready, if you have these attributes and these qualities.
So the financial readiness, the party cannot actually, hello, comrade. So the financial readiness, the party can actually cannot take exception and say, okay, fine. For the women, we would actually fund their movement as regards to the financial readiness, knowing fully well that the men can actually drop this liquid. But for the women, saying that because these are women, let us actually say, come together as a party to fund whatsoever they need.
No, you are getting it wrong.
I'm just asking. It's just a question.
Let me answer you. Let me go a bit philosophical. Until a student sincerely desires knowledge, and that student is qualified for that knowledge, then the teacher will be available. The teacher can be a human being, could be nature, could be circumstances, but there must be that sincerity of desiring. There must be qualification. Any woman that wants to be in the National Assembly, one must be qualified, must sincerely desire to be there. Even if the party grants you free tickets, will the party be going to do the campaign for you? Will the party be talking to your people for you? Wouldn't you need funds to mobilize your people? What of the logistics going to present yourself before the people? How about talking to your people? Is it the party that is going to talk to your people on your behalf? If the party does those things for you, go to and talk to your people, fuel your car, do this for you. When you go to National Assembly, how can you not speak to represent your people? You have to show competence during the time of campaign.
All right, comrade.
You can represent your people.
Okay, comrade, let's go to Barrister Lai. But of course, thank you so much, comrade, for that particular submission. In as much as I wouldn't want to make us drag that particular one. Of course, I've also seen different women that has done all their mobilization and all of that, and they were told, okay, to step down for a particular man, okay, or the men in their constituency to go, okay. But that would be another topic for another day, and I promise you, comrade, I would bring you back on the show for that particular one. Let's go to Barrister Lai. Barrister, I don't know if you can hear me loud and clear. Barrister, are you there?
Yes, I'm with you, Mr. Savior.
Okay, so what role might the Attorney General of the Federation play as regards to the alleged abuse of the prosecution and then the power play trial? And let's talk about the situation where we have so many women who has actually written to the United Nations petitions as regards to this whole situation. How might the UN petition influence the Nigerian government's response to this Senator Natasha case?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Savior. So, first of all, talking on the role of the Attorney General of the Federation, the duty of the Attorney General of the Federation is to prosecute on behalf of the federal government of Nigeria. So, in this instance, you will recall that the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation, through the Director of its public prosecution, were the one that preferred a charge against the senator. So their role in this regard is to see that he's prosecuted. However, the right thing to do is to look at the allegation raised against her. And if they realize that there is no merit, what they need to do is only to write a report, a legal report, and take the matter out of court, or go to court and humbly withdraw the charge that they filed against her. But that is not what is happening in this regard. Though we don't know what might happen in the coming days, because I learned that the defense filed a preliminary objection against the DPP. So I don't know whether after the court heard the preliminary objection, whether there might be applications that might come in the coming days. So we cannot really predict what is going to happen in the matter. You know, it's a matter that is subject, it's a matter that is going on. So there will be our comments on it might be limited, so it won't be as if we are preempting the court. Also, on the issue of writing petition to the UN, I believe that it was a good move on the side of the senator, because he aided her in amplifying the matter. You understand? So now there is more scrutiny on the matter. I even also learned that our office has been unsealed today. So it's obvious that there is pressure from international community. There is pressure from the people in Abuja. There is pressure from Nigerians, because there was also protest today in Abuja concerning this issue. So I believe it's all these people together that informed the National Assembly to unseal our office. So the writing of petition to the international body played a significant role in enforcing the rule of law on this issue.
Consequences could the Senate face if the allegation of systemic gender-based discrimination are proven true? As a lawyer, please, I would like you to come in and let us understand this.
There are very dire consequences, because you know that Nigeria is a part of a particular convention which talks about the fact that women should be given gender equality, and Nigeria is part of this convention. So if there is any rule or judgment given against the Nigerian Senate in this regard, it will bring a lot of reputational damage. It will bring a lot of issues and concerns of legislative accountability. And if you also look, the earlier speaker, I was hearing him talking and having a little argument with you. I'm also of the opinion that the ratio of women to men in politics in Nigeria is really low. As I said to you, the ratio is overall is 7%.
Very, very low.
Out of 169 legislators, we have only 19 that are women. Did you see that figure? 19. So it's really low. And we must say.
And the 19, you are already bullying one. Just to set example for the 18 remaining.
You recall what the former president Muhammadu Buhari may so rest in peace. If you remember what he was saying that time, that the duty of a woman is to be in the other room, is to be in the kitchen, or to be in the room, the other room, whatever I meant by the other room. But what are we saying in essence? There are some form of victimization and gender inequality in Nigeria as we speak, and it's reflected in our politics. And that is what informed the current number of women to men ratio in politics. So that's my opinion on that.
Okay, so Barrister, for your final thoughts as regards to legal and political implications, what are the potential implications of the court's decision on the senator's objection to its jurisdiction?
Well, the potential implications on the court ruling on issue of jurisdiction is that it will determine whether the matter will continue or whether the matter will be terminated, because it's fundamental in law that jurisdiction goes to the root of any matter. So before a court can, adjudicate over a matter, the court must have jurisdiction. So if the court looks at the preliminary objection raised by Natasha'S lawyer, and they realize that there is merit in it, and they rule in our favor, then that ends the entire matter. The entire case of cybercrime against her before that court comes to an end, unless they now decide to go and file the matter in another court. Do you understand? Because there are two different things between if the matter is going to be struck out or whether it will be dismissed.
Okay.
So are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so if the matter is, if the court rules in our favor based on the preliminary objection, then that ends the case. But if the court doesn't rule in our favor on the preliminary objection, then that means the case will continue.